everyone, and welcome to Radiant Love's Love Talk. My name is Angel D. Thomas, and I am the founder and CEO of Radiant Love, which was established in 2017. Radiant Love exemplifies the power of boldness, beauty, and self-confidence. I just want to encourage everyone to be the best version of themselves. Y'all be bold, y'all be beautiful, y'all be you. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And in May of 2015, my mother-in-law was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent a double mastectomy. She is an extremely strong woman, and her story encouraged me to create the 23-day Love Talk Challenge, which consists of 23 days of love talk for the month of October in efforts to raise money for the Knitted Knockers Foundation. Knitted Knockers are a handmade breast prosthesis for women that has had a mastectomy or any type of breast procedure. So I'm asking all of my supporters to support me in this cause by donating $23 to Radiant Love, which will be donated to the Knitted Knockers Foundation. All the information can be found on my page on how and where you can donate. So I really need you all's help. My goal is to raise $600, and with the help of you all, I know that it's possible. So joining us tonight on Love Talk is LaDale Lamb. Let me add her on now. Hey LaDale, thank you so much for being a guest here on Love Talk. Everyone, this is LaDale Lamb, who is a mother, a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She is a counselor and a friend, and that is just to name a few, y'all. This is LaDale. This is a super woman. Hey, LaDale, and welcome.
Hey, Angel. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So we're just going to dive right on in. So everyone, once again, this is LaDale Lamb. I am a school counselor. I don't have a magic wand, a crystal ball, or all the answers, but I do have ears to listen, a heart to care, and time to give. I have ideas and an open mind. I am your school counselor, and I'm here for you. Joining us tonight, y'all, is LaDale Lamb, who is not only a school counselor, but she is a mother of three, a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, a friend, a sister, and everything and so much more. And like I said before, a super woman. So welcome, LaDale, and thank you so much again for being on Love Talk.
Thank you. Angel, I would like to, if possible, go ahead and start with prayer, if I can.
Yes, without a doubt, yes.
Okay. Thank you guys, everybody that's logged in. If you can just bow your heads or close your eyes or just somber the moment. Father God, I come to you today as humbly as I know how, asking you to lead me and guide me, and helping other ladies who are women as well, or those who inspire to be a superwoman, to walk the walk, not only for themselves, but for you first. And God, I just pray that you lead it on my heart and on my tongue to make sure that I am careful in what I say and how I say, because there's so many women that are logging in to watch what I'm going to be saying and sharing here. And I just pray, God, that I can have a peace about this, because I'm kind of nervous, but also make sure that I am giving these ladies and gentlemen what they need to hear. In Jesus' name, I thank you. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Oh my goodness.
I'm a cry baby. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I'm a cry baby, but I'm gonna try not to cry today.
Thank you so much, LaDale. That was so needed. And don't cry, because guess what? I'm gonna cry right with you.
Oh.
So let's just dive right on in. So LaDale, you did attend Southern University, and you were the first generation college graduate in your family. And ever since high school, you knew that you wanted to be a counselor. So what experience led you to decide that you wanted to become a counselor?
That's a really good question. And I have to remind myself a lot of my why. And then I have to remind others. They don't understand the passion behind what I do and how I do. They don't understand that our passions don't align sometimes. But the reason that I became a counselor was because my counselor in high school, middle school, elementary school, was not pretty much non-existent to me. I became a counselor to be everything that they were not. And I give my all to my kids because I didn't get that. When I was coming in high school, I had to make sure that I attracted myself or became friends with kids that were in the top, or if their parents were friends with the counselor, so that I can get information that they were getting, because otherwise I would not have gotten it. So it pushed me to enroll in pre-AP and AP pre-AP classes, because we didn't have AP. So we had pre-AP or honors classes back then. And it pushed me to join into some of those classes so I can be around students who were getting the information from the counselors that us that were kind of not in the top weren't privy of. So what I was able to do was to get the information from my friends and then took it back to my other friends who were not getting that information. It was kind of like the haves and the have not. It's sad is what it was, because as school counselors, we have a job to do. And in addition to the job that we have to do, we need to take it seriously, because you have the power to change lives, to change communities. And had she made herself available to those of us that really, really needed her, Lord knows where Franklin would be right now. You know, so if there are any school counselors that's on this live, that's paying attention or listening, you matter, you are important to the makeup, or you're the heartbeat of the school, but you have to take it sometimes outside of the school, and so also into the community as well.
And that says a lot about your character, that at such a young age, you knew that you weren't getting what you needed. So you found ways to get what you needed by, like you said, becoming friends with people who the counselor was focusing on. And that really says a lot about you. And you took that and made a 20-year career out of that. You have over 20 years of education under your belt, and that is absolutely amazing. And you are making a change in this world, not just the school system, in the world, because a school makes a child. You know what I'm saying? They help mold a child. And you had a lot of help before you got to this point. You had a lot of help and a lot of people that took you underneath their wing, and help mold you and help create you to be this superwoman that you are. And many of those people that helped support you were givers and nurturers, and they led by example. So how has the support that you received impacted you?
Let me tell you, I have always been a child that the community raised since a little girl. My godparents were very, very influential in my successes. I had a praying godmother, Betty Bowes, Lord rest her soul. And I spent a lot of time with her. And she instilled in me some great things, along with my parents, my mom. In addition to my mom, my aunts, my uncles, family members, cousins, just people in the community. I have a spirit that attracts people to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where I get that from, but it can be a blessing and a curse. But yeah, so I was the child that the community raised from a very young age. So I had so many influential people in my life. And part of that is because people took care of me because of my mom. She's a giver, she's a doer, she takes care of everything and everybody. And she's always been like that since she was on the Oklahoma plantations, long time ago. And so she kind of passed that on to us. Mm-hmm. People see my sisters and my brothers, and they see how hard we work, and they don't have to wonder where we get it from. They know where we get it from. It comes from our mom. Our mom did an exceptional job on instilling great values in us. We stayed in church, and that's the foundation of everything that I have. Mm-hmm. And not just everything that I have. I always revert back to that. And I try to do that for my kids too. It starts at the church, and if you are leading or living a life that is aligned with God, and you're going to be fine. And so I have so many people. I remember when I was enrolling for school at Southern, and my mom worked a lot, and she was very, very into church and Eastern Star and everything, but she had friends that she could trust with us. Mm-hmm. And when it was time to go to college, of course, my older sister and brother also went to college. They went to UNO. So my mom was familiar with the process, but she couldn't come to Southern when I went to register. So she sent me with Miss Carolyn Francis. And Miss Carolyn was always a woman that I looked up to. Her daughter and I grew up together. We were in dance together at a very young age, and we kind of grew together up through high school and college. So she took me to Southern to pick my classes, to choose my major, And then when we would have to come home, Miss Callan was working on her master's program as well. And she would come through Baton Rouge and pick us up and take us home to Franklin when we wanted to go home. And she was just a huge, huge impact on my successes at Southern.
And this really, with everything that you're saying, really does mean a lot, because it literally takes a village to raise a child. And nowadays we kind of strayed, in my opinion, we strayed away from that, just because I guess the day and age. But if I could ask everybody watching this, who's gonna watch this, y'all, it takes a village to raise a child, and we need each other to raise our kids. Like back in the day, if a child was doing something wrong, the neighbor could correct it. Nowadays, it's not like that. But if we can at least go back to having each other as a community, it'll be a better place. It will really be a better place. And I just want to give kudos to everyone that supported you and they have really helped you become the woman that you are. So Ms. T, if you're watching this, you did an awesome, awesome job, and everyone else that helped. And,
absolutely.
And you are
that's absolutely right. I'm gonna tell you, when we went to college, my sister and brother, they had it made, so I thought. And when it was my turn to go, my stepdad worked in the oil field. So things were kind of up and down, in reference to the finances. And so it was a struggle for me, and it was a struggle for my mom. And I remember coming home and people would have food ready for me, and that's one thing about the Oklahoma plantations, but those folks stick together. And when I came home, I would go to different houses and I'll have people would cook during the week. And when they would cook during the week, they will have food put up away from me that I could take back with me. And in addition to that, they would give me a book of food stamps. So they would give me a couple dollars. And I remember I was short one semester of my first semester. I was short a couple $100, and I was, I didn't think I was gonna be able to stay at something. And I went home and I went to about 10 different people, and I was like, look, I need $30 a piece. I owe these people $299 something dollars, and I was able to get that money, and I am forever indebted to those people, to my community, because I wouldn't be here today without them. I really wouldn't.
At all.
Thank y'all.
Yes, y'all did an awesome job. We need each other. And you are also a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. And Delta Sigma Theta sorority was founded on 3 basic principles: scholarship, public service, and sisterhood. And LaDale, you embody all of those. You was meant to be a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. So,
and that was a struggle too, but we did it.
You did it, yes. So how has being a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority helped mold you into the woman that you are today?
What it did for me, I think that I've always had what it takes, because Delta doesn't make me, I make Delta. And when I say that, I don't want it to be taken out of context or anything like that. But what I want for people to know is I chose that sorority because it matched exactly with who I was. It matched exactly with how I was raised. It matched exactly with what I did, in the community, just period. And so what it has done for me, it has allowed me to put myself in situations with other women that have the same type goals and aspirations as I have. And so my sorors push me, they encourage me, and we're here for each other.
And it's literally a sisterhood. It literally is a sisterhood. Absolutely. And I wanna discuss family a little bit. Family is literally everything.
Yes.
Family, we fuss, we fight, we argue, but at the end of the day, we have each other's back regardless. So how important is family to you?
Well, family is very, very important to me. For me, with my family is first. It comes before anything and anybody after God. And I just wouldn't be able to be here and without my family. I can call on my sisters, I can call on my brothers, I can call on my aunts, uncles, whoever, for anything at any time. And it doesn't have to be financial. It can just be somebody to talk to. My friends as well. My friends are my family, and I can call on them for anything, and they're always there for me, So as family, we gotta, and it's gonna be times where you're gonna fall on hard times. I've been through a divorce. I've been through having to raise 3 beautiful children alone. And that's okay, because it's a blessing in all of that. But my family was right there with me to carry me through it all.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And you know, we are family. And LaDale, when I tell you we are always there for each other, whenever you need us, we are here. Whenever we need you, you are there. And for that, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And a mother's job is never done. That's a saying that is so true. And
That
being that I have almost, my baby is almost 1. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
being that I have a child, I realize that, and it is so, so true. And we as mothers are extremely, extremely strong. And you have 3 beautiful children, Wesley, Layla, and Winston. Yes. And LaDale, when I tell you, you make it happen, a lot of times you have to be in 4 different places at one time, and you make these phone calls, and you have somebody there for each of your children at the same time. No child is ever at an event and nobody's there to support them. So you have a very, very strong support system. So how does it make you feel knowing that you have such a strong support system?
Let me tell you, it is everything I need, and it's everything to me, because what it reminds me of, it reminds me of going back to the foundation. And in everything we do, we got to go back to the foundation. I was raised where family, like I said, I'm going to take it back to the Oklahoma plantations. That's where I was born and raised, and we took care of each other. And so I know that if it's something that I need, just like last night, I had to call Dee, and I was like, look, Dee, I got another appointment. Layla has pep squad. Winston got football. I can't be at 2 places at one time. Can you pick Layla up? And without a doubt, no hesitation, it was yes. Now, you got to have people in your corner that, number one, you can count on. But in addition to having people in your corner that you can count on, you got to have people that you can trust. You know, you got to have people that you can trust. And my family, you know, I know that I can trust them with my kids, you know, and not only can I trust them, I know that when I need them, they're there. And it's not, and it goes both ways. It ain't a thing my family can't call me for, and I'm not going to try to deliver. If I can't deliver, I'm going to try to find a way to give them whatever it is that they need. But I'm going to be there. And people would get on me all the time when we first moved. I'm always having somebody, taking somebody in. And so when we first moved to Houston, I had some of everybody coming in to live with me. But that's just, I watched my mama do it. I watched my grandmother do it, you know, but you got to have people that you trust too. You got to trust people when you have kids. And I do. And it is very, it just warms my heart to know that I got people that I can call on that are my family.
Without a doubt. And like I said, we always there for each other. So I can attest for that. You're there for us and we are there for you 100%. And many times a lot of people looking in would think that people who are successful have it all together and that nothing goes wrong, or that, wow, how are they doing it? But in all reality, it is hard. It is extremely hard, and everybody is going through something. And as a mother, and like you said, as a single mother, you have to find time to balance, to take care of yourself, to bring your kids to different places, their extracurriculum. And you have to incorporate family time, because y'all do a lot of family time. I have to tell you that. And I absolutely love it, whether it's game nights or going out to eat, and they look forward to that. And I absolutely love it. So with so much on your plate, how are you able to balance life? And when times do get hard, how are you able to stay afloat?
Oh, wow. Now, a lot of people see you and all they see is the degrees on the wall, or they see the car that you drive. They see the house that you live in. They see the moves that you make, and they see the things that you do with your kids. But with all of that comes sacrifice. And so you have to make sacrifices in order to, you know, get to a level that you want. Like I said, I'm a single mom. And yes, spending time with my kids and doing things with them is very, very important to me. And so I knew when I had children that it was a certain kind of lifestyle I wanted to give to them. In addition to giving them a certain kind of lifestyle, I wanted to make sure that I take care of me too. Because a lot of times, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to have to find some tissue up in here, because I'm going to cry. But okay. A lot of times, you know, we lose ourselves. You know, when you go through things in life, you're going to change. You know, things are going to change. You're going to become, you know, when I went through my divorce, it was probably one of the worst things I've ever had to go through. But it was important to me to make sure that I still was able to give my children what their dad and I sought out to give to them in the beginning. And it is a struggle, but without struggle, there is no progress, you know. So I embrace the struggle, you know, because I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, you know. So I just take it for what it is, and just keep it moving. Like, you know, my kids like to go, they like to do. I like to go and do. But when I started having children, I had to shift the focus, you know, the focus shift. You know, I had little babies that I was, you know, having to take care of by myself, basically. And not necessarily by myself, because my sister was down with me and there for me through that time while we were in Fort Worth. And my parents, my mom, my cousins, my aunts, they were a phone call away. Now, initially when I was going through it, I knew in my mind, I'm not telling anybody what's really going on. I'm going to make the decision myself, and I'm going to do what I think is best for me and my family. And so I moved on that. And so in doing those things, I found myself. I didn't want anyone to tell me what they thought, what they wanted, because nobody was living in my house going through the things that I was going through. So I didn't want to hear my mama, oh, stay, you need to stay. Or I didn't want to hear my Aunt Pearl, oh, don't you leave that boy, or whatever the case may be, you know. And I get it, you know, why, you know, people are asked to stay or what have you. But I knew that wasn't the right thing for me. And not only for me, for my kids. So I wanted to make the decision by myself, for myself. And, but it is a struggle. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard. It's hard to date. You know, this week has been a very tough week for me. And part of that is because I thought I was back in 1997 this weekend in New Orleans, having a good time with my friend for her 40th birthday. Shout out to Shamika. Happy 40th. But I'm not 21 no more. So I am still recovering from that. And so, but it is important to take the time for yourself. I used to, now it's been kind of crazy busy here these last couple of months, but I used to make sure that every month that I went to the spa. I made sure that I had a massage. I made sure I got a facial. I made sure that I got my nails done or whatever the case may be. But sometimes times don't allow me to do that. And I'm okay with that because I know I'll get back to it at some point. And what I would like to say is make sure that, you know, and it's okay to lose yourself, but make sure you got friends on your corner that will help you to find yourself, you know. And I am so blessed to have friends and family members to tell me, girl, what's wrong with you? Why your hair ain't done? Girl, what's wrong with you? You know, whatever the case may be. And you got to take that, because if they're your real true friends, they're not going to tell you to hurt you. They're going to tell you because they love you, you know.
Yes.
So just take that criticism, that love, because that's really what it is. They love you, and they want to get you to bounce back. You know, it's tough. I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you did good. But
Okay.
I want to touch on how you said about losing yourself. And a lot of times us as mothers and women in general, we focus on someone. Well, I'm going to speak on mothers because I'm a mother. A lot of time as mothers, we focus on other people, which is our child or our spouse or whoever else. And like you said, we sometimes lose ourselves. And we do need to allow time for ourselves, because you can't properly take care of someone else if you're not taking care of yourself. And a lot of times we feel guilty, and I'm guilty of this myself. We feel guilty for taking care of ourselves or putting ourselves first. So you kind of answered this, but what are some ways that you pamper yourself, and what advice could you give to someone that may feel guilty about taking care of themselves?
Don't feel guilty. And that's easier said than done, because if I had to choose my daughter getting her hair done and me getting my hair done, I think it's gonna be my daughter, you know. But just schedule things, you know. Schedule a date with friends. I'm a big happy hour coupon girl, you know. It's all kinds of happy hours where you can go eat for cheap, drink. I don't drink anymore, but drink for free, for cheap, you know. And so you can go on little cheap dates, but just go on those dates. Date yourself too, you know. So it's oftentimes that I might decide, okay, I'm going to leave the kids at home. I'm going out, just me. Nobody else, just me. It just may be a walk to Walmart. It might be a coupon trip. It might be a day at the spa. But schedule it, pencil it, put it down, and do it. Follow through with it. You know, put down, I'm going to get my nails done twice this month. Or I'm going to go to the beauty shop, you know, twice this month. Or whatever the case may be. And not just write it down. Make sure you execute it. You know, make sure you do it. You know, and a lot of times, you know, don't get caught up with comparing yourself either, because a lot of times you'll see other people that may have, and then you're thinking, oh, well, I might want that. Let me try to do this. But you don't know how they got what they have.
Right.
You know, you don't know what they're doing to get what they have. You know, their finances are not the same as yours. You know, their hustle is not the same as yours. And a lot of times, you know, cost of living, you know, you can't compare apples to oranges.
Right.
So I am really instrumental into staying in my lane. And that's a blessing. Oh, Lord, it's a blessing. But I try not to compare myself to other people and what they have and what I don't have. That don't work for me. Because people have to do strange things to get things. And in addition to doing strange things to get things, you know, what it costs to live in Houston and what it costs to live in Louisiana is not the same. So I can't do like some people can do, you know, because I got the needs and necessities that I have to handle first, you know, and then everything else comes after that. So take care of you, you know, schedule your date, call your friends, even if it's a trip to Walmart. Y'all, we ain't got no money, but let's go walk around Walmart and laugh. You do whatever, you know, laughing is good for the soul.
It really is.
One time a day just to bust out laughing, you know. And I try to do that. It usually is from calling one of my crazy sisters, but they keep me laughing and they keep me going.
Yes. Shout out to Miosha who watching. She had me laughing today. I see those ones coming in. It's very healthy. So LaDale, you are actually a go-getter. You go get it. If you want it, you go and get it. And you actually applied for a job position, and every job position that you have ever applied for, you have gotten the job. But recently, that didn't happen for the job that you just recently applied for. And a lot of times when things don't happen how we want them to, we get angry and we get all of these emotions, but we don't realize that God is in control and everything that he does is with purpose. So can you elaborate on the job that you didn't receive, and how has that taught you to 100% trust in God?
Well, I went through an interview process to become an assistant principal to jump back into administration this fall. And well, actually, it was kind of right before the school year started. I had to cancel a trip and everything. I was so mad, but I went through the process to become an assistant principal again. And so my goal is to one day have my own school. And that's not just my goal. I'm going to claim that in the name of Jesus. I'm going to be a principal in a high school setting at some point soon.
Amen. Yes.
That's what I want. That's what I want. But, you know, also, you know, my life is crazy, you know, and when I say it's crazy because it's busy. And so my kids are very, very involved. They're very busy. And had I gotten that job, they probably would have fired me. No, they wouldn't. But it didn't work out. It was the first and only job that I applied for that I did not get. And at first I was like, why, God? And then I was like, hold up, girl, you don't need to question. You need to accept this. It's a reason. And that's what we have to always remember, you know, and I try to raise my children like this too. And I tell them, you know, everything happens for a reason. So whatever is going on, you have to accept it. You have to grow from it. It is what it is. It would have been very, very difficult for me to be on a different bell schedule from my children. They all have different bell schedules. Winston's school started one time. Layla's school starts at one time. Wesley's at the Tech Ed Center, you know, taking up diesel mechanics. So he has to be at school at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then my school starts at 7:10. And so we're just all over the place, you know. And so had I taken the job there, it was going to be another monkey wrench thrown, you know. And I know that I would not have been able to be as successful as I could be in that role had I taken that job. So really, it was nothing but God taking care of me, you know. And we have to make sure that when things happen, we take it. and you
Yes.
accept it. You can, and what it did for me though, what it did for me, it gave me an opportunity to grow. I would make all kind of excuses. Oh, well, I can't lead. I'm not put in a position where I can do A, B, C, and X, Y, and Z. So I knew that I had to make some changes. So thank God I have always been blessed to work with administrators who work with me in my situations. I'm so blessed for the Travis High School admin team right now because they have my back and they understand. And so when you're working for people, when you take care of your job is going to take care of you. And they are doing that for me. So I sat with my principal and I told her, I was like, listen, this is what I want to do. And I asked her a couple questions, although, because I really thought I was going to get that job. And I asked her some questions and I asked her, I said, well, Ms. LaBerge, what about when it's time to leave? I said, you were doing so well at First Colony and then they named you here. How do you know that it was your time to go? And she just said, you just know you have seasons, you take it for what it is. And I told her, I said, I love Travis. I don't want to be nowhere else. I want to be right here, and that's the truth. We have some very, very powerful dynamic things going on this campus. And really and truly, I didn't want to leave. And, and really the reasoning for me leaving, I wanted things, but I didn't consult with God for them. So I wanted that job so that I can have more money, so that I can provide more for my children. But God had to remind me, girl, you haven't come to me. You're trying to take matters in your own hands and you are not consulting with me. And so I need to take this off because I gotta wipe my eyes. But I had to take a moment to consult with God and then thank him for not giving me what I wasn't ready for. I wasn't ready for it. And I didn't understand it initially. But after a couple of days went by, I knew that he was taking care of me. And so you just got to trust him. Just trust him.
Yes. And I literally had that conversation with God today on my way home from work. I was like, I really need to just stop trying to take matters into my own hands. I really, really just need to surrender all. And I am still working on my faith and working on all of that. But I just had to, like you said, just give it all to God and trust in him and believe in him. And that's what I'm currently doing at this very moment. And forever, that's what I'm working on. And y'all just know that everything happens for a reason, like LaDale said, and God is in control. When it's supposed to happen, trust and believe it will happen. It will happen. So you are also, we said earlier that you are a counselor. And you have daily interactions with kids all day from home and at school. So what are some principles that you instill in the kids, in your kids, Winston, Layla, and Wesley, and also the kids at school that can help them in everyday life?
Well, what I try to remind my children is to always root for the underdog. If it's a kid at school that's sitting at a table by themselves and nobody's sitting with them, go join them. I also try to teach them to make sure that they treat people the way that they should be treated. And they have to remember whose they are. They are for God. So they're doing God's work in everything that they do. Now, they do have some mess up. Layla drove me crazy last week at school. But you have to correct the behavior and get them back to the foundation. Now, and sometimes I feel like, church is really the key. My kids spent the whole summer in Ohio with their grandmother. They were at church twice a week and on Sunday, okay? And being there with them and having that access to church like that was very, very instrumental in the growth that I saw in my kids. Now, we do go to church. But we don't go as much as I need to go. And so instilling strong Christian principles in them. And they won't stray away from that. But and that's my own children. But with my kids here at school, I love these kids just like they mine. And I tell that to them and I tell it to their mama. I'm going to counsel you. I'm going to make sure that I provide great guidance to you, just like I would do to my own child within limits, So I give them options, but I give them the real, So what they see is what they get with me. They know when they come into this door, into my office, that they're going to get somebody that's going to stop what they're doing, focus on them, and give them what they need. And so it's hard sometimes because, like I had a kid today, y'all, Oh, Lord have mercy. And this poor baby, and it's not necessarily poor baby, but this child, he came in with his mom and his sister, who was an early graduate previously. And he came in and he said, you know, Miss Lamb, I want to graduate early. And I was like, okay, well, come on, let's look at your transcript. I'm all for that. Well, and a lot of times parents compare their kids, and they want one kid to do what the other kid did, and it don't work like that. And so I had to not only have a real conversation with this child about his performance, because not only did he want to graduate early, he wanted to go to a prestigious college so that he could major in engineering. And so we know engineering is straight up math and science. And I told him, I said, well, baby, you're taking the most easiest math class on this campus, you know, and you sure you want to be an engineer? And so sometimes, you know, kids, they don't want you all the time to just tell them what they want to hear. They want you, and that lady hugged me so tight today, and she just thanked me for not allowing her child to make the mistake that he was about to make. Because I could have just called him in, oh, you want to graduate early? Okay, baby, here you go. This is what you need to do. Here's your plan. But I had to remind him of some things. Baby, look at your GPA. I said, you want to go to U of H to get into this engineering program. What is the requirements? So you have to teach them to educate themselves. Like he asked me, well, can you look it up for me today, Miss Lamb? I said, no, you got a phone, Google it. You know, and so I had a meeting later on today, and somebody said, well, what does that mean? I said, I don't know, Google it, you know, look it up, you know. So we have to teach them to go out there and get the information. You can't just give it to them because there's no value if all you're doing is giving. We have to teach them to work hard for what they want. And then in addition to teaching them to work hard for what they want, we have to give them an opportunity to also advocate for themselves, you know. So it's just a lot, but I am a realist. And I try to keep it real with my students as well as my own children. And they appreciate you for that. You know, they really do.
They really do. And that means a lot, because I had an educator on yesterday, and she said, I asked her a question, do you think that life skills should be taught in school? And she was like, without a doubt, because everybody doesn't want to go to college. And even if they're in college, they need these life skills. And for what you're saying is 100% understandable, 100% true, that we need to teach the kids how to get it on, not, you know, teach them how to get it, basically. Google it. You have all the resources. I can give you the resources, but here's how to find it. You're going to know how to do this and what to do to get to those points. So I just want to give you kudos for that, LaDale, because that is amazing. You give it to them real, and like you said, in the limits. And it is definitely going to be something that they look back on and say, wow, my counselor really did care about me. They won't have a story like you had, and they'll have an opposite story. And you saw a need for that as a young child in their position when you were younger, and you were making a difference now. So that is absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Now,
amazing.
I don't want to get it twisted though. That was just in that situation. Now, sometimes you're going to get kids that you got to know your kids. First of all. And so I spent a great deal of what I do here just building relationships, because that's the key. You know, building a relationship is really, really the key, not just with the kids, but out in the community. If I'm going to HEB and spending my money across the street from the school, you better believe I'm going to ask them folks at HEB, what can they do for my kids on campus, or for the staff on campus, or whatever. So it goes beyond the walls of the school. It goes out into the community. It goes to the parents. You know, we all are connected. So I don't want you guys to think that, you know, I'm telling kids to just Google stuff. No, that's not what I do all the time. But in this instance, I had to make it a point to this child, baby, you're telling me this is where you want to go in 5 or 6 months, and you don't know the requirements to get there. So you're showing me, baby, that you are not ready. And, you know, so I had to have that conversation with the kid. I don't tell kids to Google stuff all the time, but in that instance, I had to tell him, and not only tell him, but also to show his mom sitting here. Listen here, you know, yes, this may be what you want for your baby, but your baby's not ready, you know, and they appreciated that.
Yes, because I know if I was a parent, I would definitely appreciate that. So my philosophy is be bold, be beautiful, be you. I literally say this all day. I post it everywhere. I write it everywhere, and I encourage it to everyone. So what is a philosophy that you stand on and live by?
I have a few, but one of the big ones for me is nothing beats a failure but a try. So I share that with my kids, and that's old school. You know, that was sharing me a long time ago. But I don't want. I try to make sure that's something that I stand by. You know, you're not a failure unless you don't try. You know, and in addition to that, another philosophy that I have is embrace the struggle. You know, without struggle, there is no progress. You know, so don't give it to me easy. I'm going through some stuff right now this week at work where I just want to just run away. No, I ain't gonna run away. I'm gonna look this sucker in the side and I'm gonna wink at it, you know. And not only am I gonna wink at it, I'm gonna overcome this struggle. And so what sometimes people think that what they mean for your bad is really meant for my good. You're trying to attack me, but you don't know that you're making me stronger. So come on with the attack because I'm gonna overcome. You watch and see.
Without a doubt. That's that superwoman. That's right, LaDale. Yes. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And that's what the 23-day love challenge is all about, just encouraging. So what is some words that you would give to someone that is going through a difficult time or has gone through a difficult time?
I would say don't give up. Don't give up. And I have people that come to me all the time for guidance. And all I can tell them is, you know, keep pushing. What's your goal? You know, set your mind, have a goal and attain it. Have some short-term goals, some long-term goals, and don't stop. And when you get to a point where you're confused or you get to a point where you feel like you can't go no more, you got to keep God in the midst of it all. And that has been working for me. It really has been, you know. So I just try to encourage people to find their faith and stand on it and go to God with everything, all their needs. That works for me. It works for me. It really, really does. So
it does.
Just, you know, God is in the midst of it all. You got to keep it in. You know, this world is so crazy right now. We have to keep God in the midst of everything that we do. And if you stand on his promises, you're going to be fine.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. So LaDale, I just want to thank you so much for all these encouraging words that you have given to all of us. I know you have touched someone. You have touched me. You are an amazing woman. You are an amazing mother, just amazing person altogether. So at this point in time, I just want to open up the floor to you to say whatever is on your heart.
Oh, I want to first thank, I was sharing this Instagram thing. I am not an Instagram girl, but I am now. My cherry has been popped. But I just want to encourage people to don't give up. And when bad things happen, and not necessarily bad things, but when things happen in your life where it's a struggle or it's hard, keep working, keep pushing. And if, you know, find your why. For me, my why is my kids. You know, it should be me, but it's not. It's them first. You know, and just, you know, don't give up. You know, keep pushing, keep doing great things, and get good people in your corner. I have been blessed with some very, very dynamic people that I have in my corner. And for me, you know, I still keep in touch with classmates, and I love my classmates we getting ready to turn it up in Franklin on tomorrow, but I still keep Friday. I still keep in touch with them. I still have love for them. Keep good people in your corner, and not just good. You don't want a yes man or a yes woman. You want people that's going to correct you. You want people that are going to grow you, and you want to attract yourself around those people. So a lot of times when things are not going the way that you want it to be, you got to take a minute and look in the mirror, and not only just look in the mirror, check your surroundings, you know, and you are what you attract, you know. So sometimes we have to make decisions to go the other way, and that's okay. So I just encourage people just to find whatever your faith is, whoever you believe in, and for me it's God. Stay close to him, pray to him, ask him for what you need, and believe that he's going to come through, and you're going to be fine. It works for me.
Without a doubt. So again, I just want to say thank you, LaDale. You are just a lovely person. Everything that you said today was just spot on, and I love it, love it, love it. And once again, I just want to tell your kids, I love them, I love you, and we love y'all. We need to come up. Do you cook today?
Listen, look, you know, if I did, I'd be calling you, but no,
I already know. I already know. But thank you so much. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, we are on the 23-day Love Talk Challenge. This is day 2. Y'all, I need your support. I need y'all to donate $23 to Love Talk, which will be donated to the Knitted Knocker Foundation. All of that information is posted on my page, and I will just ask that y'all tune in for the entire month of October, Monday through Friday, and we are going to raise this money for Knitted Knockers. I love y'all.
I'm going to make a donation. I wanted to say this in the beginning, but I forgot. But I want to make a donation for Knitted Knockers. And in addition to making that donation, I'm going to make it in honor of Bonnie Williams, Lily Thomas, Carolyn, my Carolyn, and Carolyn Francis, and Stephanie Jones, too. So I am going to make a donation for my children and I to Knitted Knockers in honor of those 5 breast cancer survivors.
And they are some extremely, extremely strong women. And I am doing this for you all. I got chill bumps. I don't want to cry. So I'm going to log off now. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And y'all have a good night.
Thank you.